Hello and welcome to Doctor Who Radio Show. That's the way it goes, Anna, and with me is
Stephen Price.
Different generation, different doctors. Anyway, in this episode of Doctor Who Radio Show, let's talk about that trailer. The trailer which is for Season 7 Part 2. The one that ends rather ominously with the Doctor saying, "I am the Doctor and I'm afraid," basically. Covering the first 4 episodes, I believe. So, what do you make of the trailer, Steve?
Yes, very good. I've only watched it once. I'll have to watch it a few more times. I've seen the bike coming out of the TARDIS.
Oh yeah. Well, they did that in the TV movie, didn't they?
Yeah.
But he's actually driving. There's actually a clip that's been released, a very sort of brief one, about 30 seconds long, from the first episode, I believe, which is himself and Clara driving on a bike very similar to the Idiot's Lantern bike that Rose and the 10th Doctor drove on, but they're driving across Westminster Bridge. And of course, you, as a second Doctor Who fan, you'll be rather pleased about the return of the Ice Wise, won't you?
Yes, I've seen pictures of them, of the done the Ice Warriors. Looks very good. Looking forward to that episode.
Well, that's called Cold War, isn't it?
Yeah.
Written by Mark Gatiss. But the first one is, I thought originally was going to be a sequel to the Idiot Lantern, because it's got a sort of internet type thing. I think Stephen Moffat was talking about how nobody had actually made the internet scary before, but he's done that. Or, well, I think it's fair to say other people have done that already, but never in Doctor Who. Like you said, right? Like the third and fourth Doctors. During their time, the writers turned the mundane into the terrifying, didn't they? Like Dolls and the Terror of the Autons and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, they done was it the last series? They done Dolls.
Oh yeah, yes, yes. On the Cancer Estate.
Well, I've seen the rest of the listing today.
Bells of St. John, of course, is the first episode, as I said, and there's actually a clip that's been released where the Doctor's dressed in what appears to be a monk costume or something like that, and he's actually at the door of Clara. Now, as you know, in the Christmas special and also in the Dalek story, which was a complete surprise to everybody, she's actually died twice already. But this is, I'm sorry to say this, but it keeps going back to the City of Death, where you got the Count splintered into different selves, that existing at the same time as each other in the same, well, not same, but different time periods. The same being, splintered throughout time, existing at the same time as each other, interacting with each other. So I think that's where it's got the inspiration from. But it seems a bit curious to me that he's dressed in a monk type thing. Could this be a sort of timey-wimey thing where he's just encountered a good man goes to war, perhaps?
Yeah, could well be.
Any ideas about that, Steve?
No.
Well, you're like the opposite to Matrix Lord 212, really. Because it seems to me, Steve, that he's turning up at the Clara's door dressed as a monk. Now, either he's had an adventure which we haven't seen, since the last time we saw him in the Christmas special, 2012, the Snowman, Great Intelligence, etc. Or he's come directly from the episode A Good Man Goes to War, because this is Stephen Moffat, timey-wimey type shit.
Yes, it's got me thinking. That's the same.
Well, there we go, everybody. Doctor Who Radio Show. Neither of us have anything to say or think, or will we? Well, it just seems a bit curious to me, because everything seems to be sort of going towards an explanation for why Madame Corvarian and the Silence were trying to destroy the Doctor in the start of season 6. If you remember, the Silence basically wanted him to, prevent him from revealing the final sort of answer, the question that must never be answered, as that big fat bold bloke with body said.
The blue face.
I mean, think about it. It seems a bit coincidental, don't you? He's dressed in a sort of monk, like he was in Good Man Goes to War when he fought the Headless Monks.
Yeah.
I've seen on one of the Doctor Who forums, but they were talking about him holding up a leaf, which in Good Man Goes to War is mentioned by the character Lorna Bucket, a soldier with the clerics, who said quite clearly that when she was a little girl, a young girl, she met the Doctor in the Gamma Forest, and she, in the language of her people, Melanie Pond's name was inscribed on a parchment. And we've already had the solution to River Song being imprisoned in a cage for killing a good man. A Good Man Goes to War. So I think it's all full circle. It says on Wikipedia, and I quote, Amy during her pregnancy and has taken her child. Melody from her prepares her human troops to fight the Doctor alongside the Order of the Headless Monks who reside in Demon's Run. The monks are literally headless and incapable of being fooled or intimidated. Human soldier Lorna Bucket, Christina Chong, who had met the Doctor's young girl in the Gamma Forest, attempts to befriend Amy and give her a cloth good luck token with Melody's name on it in her language. Amy warns Bucket of the Doctor's fury if she fights against him. Demons run when a good man goes to war, night will fall and drown the sun when a good man goes to war. What do you make of the Whisperers and the Osweys returning, especially with the old stylers of Doctor Who and science fiction, of course, having appeared in Star Trek's one of the original Star Trek's last films, David Warner?
Yeah, it looks. I'm looking forward to the Ice Warriors. I'd like to see more old monsters come from the old episodes back, sort
of less seen classic monsters, basically.
Like the was one of them the sea creatures? Is it the sea creatures?
Sea devils.
Sea devils, sorry.
Or the Hemovores, of course, from Curse of Fenric.
Yeah.
Have you seen the pictures of when you look Ice Wise?
Yes, I've seen one picture of it. Yeah, they look looks very good.
As a fan of the first and second and third Doctors, how would you describe the difference between, say, from your point of view as a long-time fan of Doctor Who, how would you describe the difference between, the old Ice Warriors costume and now?
The new one looks much better,
But what sort of difference do you see? I mean, obviously they have more money to spend on it, but what is the difference?
More, how can I put it? More evil, Because it's on a submarine, in it, or something?
Yes, that's correct. It's on a submarine, yes.
Yeah.
I've noticed that the old Ice Warriors were more sort of scaly, in a sort of organic way, but the new costumes look sort of more, armour, if you like.
Yeah, it's like the old Cybermen when they talk so terrible, but then when they were brought back, they were much better, like, you know.
Oh, well, I see.
Can you remember the voices of the old Cybermen?
Oh yes, sort of pipe tubing and sort of stuff right on front. They started off with a hell of a lot of sort of radiator type stuff on them, didn't they? And then they sort of lessened that and made it more like a metallic sort of silver cyber sort of suit type thing, you know, swimming suit type motif, if you like. Yeah. And then in the 80s, of course,
the Sontarans, when they came back, were absolutely awesome.
And smaller.
Yeah.
I don't know, I just thought that's the whole point, isn't it, really? Sort of the new series, it's sort of been hit and miss, really. You like the new costumes, of course, but I didn't like this new Cyberman because I think it lost something, really. The whole point of the Cybermen was that they were supposed to be the result of a race trying to get rid of their humanity, but in this alternative reality Cybermen, who are not actually part of our universe, that's what the Doctor says, you know, in their first episode where they return, but they're not actually his Cybermen at all. They're actually, you know, our Cybermen from the classic series are still out there. The problem is they turn them into sort of iPods and legs, and with the Sontarans, I don't know, sort of they lost that sort of battle weary clone feeling to it. But with the new Cybermen, new Ice Wars, it makes perfect sense. Plus with the Ice Wars, they seem to have sort of toughened them up, so to speak. They've made them bigger. You know, they've tweaked the design of the costume, but not done it in such a way that it's too modern, if you see what I mean. Now, of course, Stephen Moffat has pointed out that another old face should return, but he was a bit cagey. No, not just cagey, but he refused to actually say who it was, you know, in the Moffat type way. But could it possibly be the Master, do you think, Steve?
Yeah, I'm sure Gallifrey has got to do something with it, you know, in this special episode. You got to bring back Gallifrey and the Time Lords and the Master.
I did recall seeing a Matrix Lord 212 video where he was pointing out that the title for the Doctor Who 50th anniversary special was The Lords of Time. Now, here's a question for everybody. Who in Doctor Who mythology is best described as Lords of Time? Anyone? Anyone at the back?
Yes, the Master.
Well, he's a Time Lord, isn't he?
Yeah.
And there's been talk of him wanting to return, or rather the actor. The last story in this season is Hyde, which we don't really know very much about it, but I'm presuming that the Whisperers will make an appearance.
Yes, it's about a ghost of a woman.
I beg your pardon?
It's about a ghost of a woman, Ides. I just read it today.
Well.
They land on some moor or something, and it's like a mansion. It's supposed to be haunted.
Oh, I see. Well, what does the ghost want?
It just said about the ghost. Is she real or whatever?
I see.
So they're going to investigate or something.
I see. So far we've had bells, we've had
Might have got it wrong,
rings,
but that's what it...
Cold War, and of course Hyde. Perhaps that relates to the Doctor saying he's afraid in the trailer.
Yeah.
Curious, rather curious.
And where I seen them filming, where the Doctor lands his TARDIS under this tree, by this old monastery, there's a mansion just up on the hill. So that could be the episode I'd.
Monastery? Could it be possible, do you think, that the Doctor's already had that adventure with Clara, gone back in time to the Bells of St. John, and turned up in that cloak?
Yeah.
So it's not a case of even timey-wimey, but rather sort of back and forth 1,000 times over for the Time Lord. Or he's a time traveller. To him, there is no such thing as a linear timeline, but rather just, well, from this point of view, sort of a timeline that to other people seem completely out of shape.
Because I was asked to leave because they were going to film something there and then, and I was asked to leave the location.
They must know you by now, mate.
Huh?
They must have a picture with dartboard or something like that.
Yeah, with me on it.
Have you seen this man? Have you seen this troublemaker?
Well, what I'd like to do is go on location when they film, and we'll put the master John Sims mask on, like they done for the End of Time, and they think John Sims is
bloody hell.
John Sims has arrived on set. Right, the End of Time, when the Doctor saying to the master, you don't know what's coming through, the some bird or something like that, and
Nightmare Child, wouldn't it?
The Nightmare Child and all that. I'd like to see that happen,
That's the whole point of the End of Time. In order to free themselves from the Time War, the Time Lords would be letting through all the things that they'd actually spent the Time War trying to defeat. Yeah, like the Nightmare Child and all that sort of shit. Which Stavros even feared, and that means that they're desperate to get out of the time lock. It's like a sort of repeating death. They live and reborn because time is rewritten, and Time Lords are time sensitive, so they can see all the alternative realities that never were, will be, etc. Like at the start, when Rassilon kills that Time Lord lady. I'd love to say what I really think about the Time War, but it's something that I've never seen any Doctor Who fan ever come up with, and I'm not going to let you think what I think about it, because I'd be letting the proverbial trick out the hat, and I think it's the reason why the Doctor left Gallifrey in the first place. So to all you Doctor Who fans, because I've been a Doctor Who fan for over 20 years, so up yours. Yeah, up yours, dickheads. Fuck you. You're not going to have my secret that I know about the Time War. So, speaking of the Whisperers, the sort of white clothed faces, is it me, and it's not just me, many other people notice this, they look like the Trickster from the Sarah Jane Adventures.
Yeah.
Is it at all possible that the Trickster, bear in mind he was warning the 10th Doctor about the gate waits for you, and the 10th Doctor, and also David Tennant's last appearance as the 10th Doctor, he was actually warning the Doctor about that, and he's got a grudge against the Doctor. The Doctor's mentioned he's encountered his kind, the Trickster's kind, before. Is it possible that the Trickster might pull the same thing that he did to Sarah Jane Smith, where he was sent her back in time, back to the Second World War?
Could well be, yeah. Good point.
Thereby facilitating an encounter with his past self.
The 50th something else, 50th anniversary. Why in 3D?
I don't know. I'm not entirely sure.
Because like you said, he was talking to Matrix Lord the other day, and he was saying about the price on the tellies. You could have a about £900 just to buy a 3D telly, haven't you?
Yeah, that's a good point actually. Well, oddly enough, 20 years ago, that's what they did to the 30th anniversary, wasn't it? Dimensions, and let's just make up for the fact that we haven't got the balls to spend any money on a decent anniversary, and we cancelled the Dimensions in time, so let's shove it into Albert Square. You remember that?
Yeah.
Dimensions in, let's not make much effort in time.
And I've always hated 3D. I used to. One of the Friday 13th was in 3D, and it was absolutely rubbish.
Oh yeah, I've saw 3D Freddy Krueger, and also cream pie porn as well. Although I have to say the production values on that were rather good. But the whole point about 3D, of course, is that it's not the same as it used to be. If you've seen 3D films, of course, it's different because it's more digitized, if you like.
Yeah.
But the problem is, for a director, it has to be tailored to the method and medium of 3D. And the problem is that can make it sort of repetitive. If it feels like it's been sort of shoved in for no apparent reason, or it's out of place, then it's not really good for the viewer. And if a story is so good, why would you need 3D at all? We're not watching Doctor Who's 50th anniversary for the sake of 3D. We're watching it. Let's be honest. We're watching it to see past Doctors appear.
Yeah.
End of. We're not watching it to see River Song get a knockers out, although that'll be rather enjoyable. We're looking forward to seeing, and I want to cheer from all the Doctor Who fans out there when I say this. We're looking for Paul McGann to reappear as the 8th Doctor, aren't we? We're enjoying the experience of possibly seeing the 9th Doctor meet the 10th Doctor, aren't we?
Yeah.
We're looking forward to seeing the 6th Doctor berate, the 4th Doctor or something, I don't know, get stroppy or something. And we're looking for the Doctors to argue amongst themselves, while by the end of the episode finally coming together and working together, and then making a parting shot saying, make sure the timelines are big enough for the both of us, or all of us. Just take care of the old fellow, will you? And then cue the sound of several TARDISes disappearing. That sort of thing, yeah. It isn't a 50th anniversary for Moffat to inflate his ego. It's an anniversary celebration for old and new fans to enjoy all their Doctors meeting past Doctors. So I suggest you vote for the Doctor. All 11 of them. People.
Yes, I'd like to see most of the past, all of them really. I don't know, they've had 2 actors to play the first and second Doctor. Are they gonna have for, the Pertwee,
Yeah, well, Pertwee, they've been running a 2-part interview with John Pertwee, as I pointed out to Matrix 212. Check his website. Fuck it. Check his YouTube channel out, everybody. And that was rather interesting. Now, as an old fan of Doctor Who isn't so old, because let's face it, you're really young still. I'm not trying to be rude. Are you looking forward to the new Mark Gatiss drama focusing?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Ah, it's looking rather exciting, isn't it?
I seen the clips that the had put on the internet with the Daleks going over Westminster Bridge.
Really? Holy smokes!
Yeah.
Oh, one's from YouTube or from Mark Gatiss' Twitter account?
Mark Gatiss himself, yeah.
Ah, cool. Sort of recreating the Dalek invasion of Earth, isn't it, I think?
Yes, it was done. He said it was done on a Sunday morning, early about 7 o'clock, and that's what they done. They done it on a Sunday. Closed the road off.
Holy smokes. The curious thing is, though, they actually feature Patrick Troughton in the thing.
Yeah.
They feature William Hartnell, of course. They feature all the actors who played, Ian, Barbara, Susan. They feature Verity Lambert, all the writers, the first director of Doctor Who ever, who was, bizarrely enough, a Asian. Well, in 1963 it was a bit of an unheard thing, of course, wasn't it? And also, the first producer of Doctor Who was a woman at the age of 24, in 1963. So politically correct and multicultural before those words became bullshit, basically. Doctor Who, quite simply, was the Star Trek of its day, sort of, in the same way that Star Trek had a character list of people from different, nationalities and countries. Bizarrely enough, it was the way around for Doctor Who. The production crew were all totally unusual for 1963. And the whole idea of Doctor Who, which is why all TV shows since suck ass, and Doctor Who will and always will be and always was the best damn show ever.
Yeah.
BBC, so here's an idea: put some fucking money into it, you penny pinching tossers. Let's have some decent. I mean, the old series managed to have 26 bloody episodes. Why can't, the BBC themselves has said it's one of the biggest profitable shows, even bigger than Sherlock. So why can't they produce 15 or 20 episodes?
Yeah. Well, I was 4 in that year it came out. I was 4. And Doctor Who started.
Well, when Doctor Who was celebrating its 20th anniversary during the Peter Davison era, of course, I was 5 years old, so But you've seen it all, really, haven't you?
Yes, I've seen. I can remember when I was young. Patrick Troughton. I can remember it. Yeah.
Did you actually see him regenerate then?
Must have done, yeah.
Holy crap. You actually saw the episode where he changed from Doctor 1 to 2?
Yeah.
Blimey. Well, let's face it, the current Doctor is sort of modelled on the second Doctor, isn't he?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all time we have for Doctor Who Radio Show, and that's the way it goes. I'm going to sober up after signing off, and this has been
Stephen Price.
And until next time, until then,
bye bye.